Okay, so let me show you the real reason why coaches like you are burning out. And it's not your clients. It's not the hours because you probably work 60, 80 hours a week. It's just the back end being completely manual and you carrying everything yourself. Right now, probably everything depends on you, right? You don't really have an infrastructure. You don't have automations and you don't really have any support. So you're trying to run a business while juggling 7,000 different hats and doing everything manually that should be running itself. And that's exactly why you feel overwhelmed. And I've been in your shoes before. That's why you're watching this and what I'm doing now. So here's what your day probably looks like when you don't have a system. Even half of this is 100% accurate. So you are responding to DMs, random, all day, every day, glued to your phone, right? Your follow-ups, trying to remember who to chase, who needs to be contacted. You're booking, so then you're juggling all your schedules manually. You're onboarding, so walking every client through the same process one by one. You're a delivery. You're building everything from scratch every single time. Or worse, you're copying and pasting the same plans. Your check-ins, you're manually tracking everybody's progress, like through data entry on an Excel. Admin, invoices, contracts, paperwork. None of this is sustainable, right? You're doing the work of 5 different departments? So then ultimately, the cognitive load is going to hit. You're switching tasks nonstop. And unless you're autistic like me, this is going to not be good, right? So you forget the follow-ups. Clients start slipping away, leads go cold, and you're carrying the entire business in your head, which is the fastest path to burnout. And because everything is done manual, nothing becomes predictable. Your good months turn into bad months. There's no consistency, and your call flow is unstable. Revenue looks like this dude on the screen, up and down, right? It swings. And so you're stuck in feast or famine mode every single day, every single week, even though you're working 60, 80 hours a week. Now, this is the hidden time cost that destroys every coach. 60 to 90 minutes lost a day in messages, right? You have, an hour a day fixing admin and small fires here and there. You have 1 to 2 hours a week patching broken tech that shouldn't be broken in the first place. It doesn't feel huge in the moment, but this shit adds up. Time is our most valuable asset, not money, right? So your small tasks stack fast, and all of that energy should be going into coaching and not babysitting your backend. Not to mention, you probably have zero retention logic in place, or you don't even know what exactly this means. So you don't get alerts for churn. You don't get auto check-ins. You don't have a renewal flow, right? Your clients more likely than not drop off early, or you could only really sign them for 12 weeks. You don't have a high LTV. And it's not because they don't like you, but it's because there's no system keeping them engaged and supported and a reason to ascend and continue to pay you. You have stress, anxiety. You're overwhelmed. I feel like this is a movie of Inside Out, but you're reacting all day instead of operating, right? You're constantly in fight or flight mode, trying to keep this whole, whatever it is, your whole system, your whole business from breaking, right? And you're doing all this, working 80 hours a week to make $5,000, right? So here's the truth that nobody's going to tell you. Burnout isn't from coaching. Burnout comes from the back end manually. I would hope if you're watching this, you're not tired of helping clients and getting them amazing results, but you're tired of doing 10 extra jobs that you should not have to be doing in your business. So the fix is the burnout will disappear when the system carries the workload. And when that backend is doing what it's supposed to do, like capturing or nurturing or booking or onboarding, delivery, retaining, reactivating, you finally get to coach and not firefight. So if you've already booked your backend audit, awesome. We will talk really soon exactly where your bottlenecks are, and show you the fix. And if you haven't yet and you're watching this right now, what are you waiting for? Now, I get it. There might be a hesitancy. I don't know if you trust me, whatever. Look at the social proof, okay? But also, I'm not going to pitch you, or me and my team's not going to pitch you. So book it in. And let's get your system built now so you can finally operate without burning yourself out. And we can see if or how we can help if you qualify. We'll talk soon.